नारायणोपनिषदुपनिषन्नतिनामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So this is the last day of Kartik, and as you can say that there is a time when everything has to come to an end. Even Kartik month also has to come to an end, and our life also has to come to an end. Of course, this picture represents the mood of gopis when Krishna is about to leave, or they have to leave from the arena of rasa dance, and there is the mood of separation. So, what can we learn? What can we meditate on the last day? What is it that we are supposed to think or carry? What should we do that Kartik month will come to an end? Few thoughts. So we've been very fortunate for the last 1 month, despite the fact that we are far away from Vrindavan. We've been having this wonderful opportunity to meditate on some of the aspects of Vrindavan, some of the intricacies, some of the Nitya Parsads, the eternal associates of the Lord, be it the cows, be it the creeper, be it the trees, be it the flute, be it the gopas, the gopis, Nanda Baba and Yashoda, be it the birds, cloud, everything about Vrindavan is special. That's why the Kunti Maharani's prayer that we have in the morning, Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namaho. Krishna is very dear to cows, Govindaya Namo Namaho. And Vrindavan is a land where you can see beautiful cows. Go doesn't mean only cows, it also means our senses, who can give pleasure to our senses. The senses who are unbridled, uncontrolled, which we don't have what to do. They just go, like grazing, like the way the cows grow. But if we have Krishna in our life, those unbridled, uncontrolled senses also can get the highest pleasure. That's why it's called Govinda. So what all we covered, we had an incredible journey. Sometimes it's good to look back and see what all we did. The fonts are very small, but I can just give you a brief overview. We had the exam of life, which none of us can avoid. Sometimes maybe it is possible, college days, you may bunk, or, you may not appear, or something like that. But this exam of life, each one of us have to go through. And that is the exam which is called death, for which we are all rushing, we are running towards. Though we don't have a sense of it, we don't have a direction of it, that we are running towards it. But ultimately that is the end of life. That is why the scriptures, cutting across, they talk about this beautiful verse, Etavan Sankhya Yoga Bhyam Swadharma Parinishthaya Janma Labha Parapumsan Ante Narayana Smriti. If you want to become successful in that final exam of your life, the yardstick is if you are able to remember the Lord, Ante Narayana Smriti. Is it easy? Not easy at all. Very difficult. Because people like us, we are conditioned. We've got many desires, many aspirations, many goals. We want to be happy here. We want to give our best to enjoy our life. So in all those pursuits, Ante Narayana Smriti doesn't happen. So that's why, where to receive this knowledge, and what kind of knowledge is it required to pass this exam? The Vedic scriptures talk about that. We had this beautiful verse, Yasvanu bhavam akhila shrutisāram ekam adhyatma deepam atitīrshatāṃ tamavandham samsārinām karunayāha purāna guhyam tam vyāsa sunam upayami gurum muninām. Yasvanu bhavam akhila shrutisāram ekam. These acharyas, out of great compassion, they have compiled the essence of Vedic literature. Yasvanu bhavam, they have realized Yasvanu bhavam akhila shruti saram ekam, and they have taken the essence and they have given it to us because of the compassion. We are not able to see our end, we are not able to see our suffering, we are not able to experience the difficulties that we are going through. But the Acharyas are very compassionate. They are Trikaladarshi. They are able to see how foolish, how mad, how stupid we are, busy in our own lives, not knowing what is the ultimate goal of life and going through this rut of life. So they've given this knowledge. We spoke about that. We spoke about the tonic for exam. We spoke about the mentality of the topper. We spoke about the 5 ways to mold our life. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, then Mathura Vas, and Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. These 5 things are very important. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathura Vas, and Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. We spoke about the 6 benefits of bhakti. Kleshagni, it reduces all the miseries of our life just by engaging in the process of devotion. Moksha, Subhada, it gives all auspiciousness. Moksha Laghutkrit, it actually reduces the position of even liberation. Sandrananda Visheshatma, you experience a pleasure or a bliss of a different kind which you have never experienced. And then how many I spoke? 4. There are 2 more. Durlabha, it is very rare, Sudurlabha. And the 6th one is Sri Krishna Karshani. It attracts Krishna. Krishna means who attracts everyone. But if you want to attract Krishna, engage in devotion. And in the midst of this month of last 29 days, we had festivals like Diwali, Govardhan Puja, Gopashtami, Bahulashtami, appearance of Radha Kunda, Thanksgiving, Srila Prabhupada disappearance, cruise Kirtan. My God, what else you can ask for in life, isn't it? Vrindavan is a place where there are festivals every day, every moment. This is what life is. If we have Krishna in our center, we can experience that transcendental bliss always. But unfortunately, we are not convinced. The experience of pleasure for us, the experience of bliss that we experience, we get that glimpse. But the overpowering power of Maya is so strong, we again get carried away, we again get drifted and shifted. Rupa Goswami, in one of his prayers, he says, Manasija Fani Jushte, you can repeat, Manasija Fani Jushte, Labdha Patosmi Dushte, Timira Gahana Rupe, Hanta Samsara Kupe, Ajita Nikhila Raksha, Hetum Uddhara Daksha, Upanaya Mama Haste, Bhakti Rajjum Namaste, Manasija Fani Juste, Labdha Patosmi Dushte. Rupa Goswami, they're all exalted acharyas. They describe our position in a different way which we don't want to see. They're saying that we are actually fallen in a deep, dark well. Manasija Fani Juste, Labdha Patosmi Dushte, Timiragahana Rupe, Hanta Samsara Kupe, Samsara Kupa. The well of the samsara is like a deep, dark well. Timira Gahana Rupa, very deep darkness is there. How can you come out of the well? You can only come out of the well if somebody throws a rope. But imagine if the rope is thrown by somebody who's a small child. You will have no faith in that. But here the rope is sent by the Lord himself. Ajita Nikhila Raksha, Hetum Uddhara Daksha. He's competent. He can give us the protection. He's putting that rope. And that rope is the rope of devotion. But unfortunately, we are so unfortunate that the rope is coming. We are still saying, anyway, the rope has come. Now let me do some more work. Let me finish. Rupa Goswami is telling that, let me have that conviction and determination to hold that rope tightly so that the Lord can pull me out. Ajita Nikhila Raksha, Hetu Muddhara Daksha, Upanayama Mahaste, Bhakti Rajum Namaste, Bhakti Rajum. That rope of bhakti, I'm bowing down, I'm paying my obeisances. This is our position. Today I want to talk about, because it's already, this time just flies. Like this, 8:10 it will come and then we will be done. And then we will sing Damodara Ashtakam and we will be gone. But I want you to go with a powerful message which should stay with us, not just because Kartik month is coming to an end, because it's a human form of life and we are very fortunate. We have come in touch with the message of Krishna in the form of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, through a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. So here, the context is, this is Krishna sending Uddhav to Vrindavan, which we have been talking yesterday also for some time, to console the Vrajavasis. So this verse goes like this: Gacchodhava brajam saumya pitror no pratim avaha gopina mad vyogadhim mat sandeshair vimochaya. Gacchodbhava brajam saumya. Oh gentle Uddhav. Gacho Uddhava. Gacha Uddhava has become Gacchodhava. Vrajam Saumya. You go to Vraja, Saumya, because you are gentle. Pitror no Pritim Avaha. Pitror no Pratima. To our parents, you somehow give them some satisfaction. Give them some pleasure. Pitror no Pratim Avaha. Gopinam mad byogadhim mat sandeshair vimochaya. And he's telling, Mad Gopinam. Gopis are mine. Give them my sandesh. Gopinam, Mad Gopinam byogadhim mat sandeshair vimochaya. One letter has been sent by Krishna. Uddhav actually is look-alike. The moment Uddhav reached Vrindavan, some of the gopis, they were talking to themselves as if, are you seeing the same thing which I am seeing? Is it Krishna? That's how they are saying. There's some fire there. There's some lamp. Okay. So they are saying, are you seeing the same thing? Is it Krishna who's back from Mathura? They are having that kind of a doubt in their mind. So Krishna is telling Uddhav, Gopinam mad vyogadhim mad sandeshair vimochaya. Gopinam mad vyogadhim. These are the gopis who are in my separation. Give them my message, this letter that you send. But this is in plural. So Jiva Goswami writes in the purport, why Krishna is telling it is in plural, because if they are still not convinced, if they are not consoled, which they are not going to be, read this sandesh again and again. Read this letter again and again. Gopinam mad vyogadhim mat sandeshair vimochaya. The reason why Uddhav is sent by, Uddhav actually means who gives transcendental pleasure. So the reason why Krishna is sending Uddhav to Vrindavan, because Vrindavan, after Krishna has left, Krishna has departed, it has become like a desert. There is no sense of what's going on over there. Their life as if has come to a standstill. Krishna has left us. So Uddhav, at least there is a hope that maybe he'll give some pleasure. Of course, he experiences transcendental pleasure himself. The great Uddhav. There are various places in which there is mention of Uddhav. The first place where we see is when Vidura is meeting Uddhav in his course, in his pilgrimage when he's going. And in that very famous verse which comes, Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam. Aho Bakiyam, oh Baki. Baki is actually the sister of Bakasura, which is Putana. Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam. That Putana who put the worst, the dreadliest, put your mobile in silent phone and try to maintain some decorum. Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam. She smeared the worst kind of poison in her breast and wanted to kill Krishna. But that same Krishna, Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam, how dayalu, how merciful that Lord is, he gave her the position of his own mother. So there, this verse is spoken by Uddhav to Vidura in the 3rd canto. There also is mention of Uddhava and Krishna Samvad in the 11th canto, which is known as Uddhav Gita. But this particular portion, Uddhav is sent by Krishna to Vrindavan to console the gopis. And their life is in complete mess. They have no sense whether it is daytime or evening or what is going, whether they have eaten, whether they are wearing the dress or not, because Krishna has gone from their lives. So very interestingly, Uddhav, when he saw those intense emotion, those intense love and devotion of the gopis, he was speechless. So Uddhav offers his prayers, and one of the prayers we are going to chant today. This prayer has got the essence of what we should aspire in life. What Uddhav is aspiring, that we will see in this. So you can repeat after me. Asham aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. Vrindavane kimapi gulmalato shadhinam. Yadustyajam swajanam aryapatham chahitva. Bhejur mukunda padavim shutibhir bimrigyam. We'll do one more time. Asham aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. वृन्दावने किमपि गुल्मलतो सधीना यादुस्त्यजं स्वजनम् आर्यपथं च हित्वा भेजुर्मुकुन्दपदवीं श्रुतिभिर्विमृग्याम् आसामहो चरणरेणुजुसामहं श्याम् वृन्दावने किमपि गुल्मलतो सधीनाम् यादुस्त्यजं स्वजनमार्यपथं च हित्वा भेजुर्मुकुन्दपदवीं श्रुतिभिर्विमृग्याम्. I wanted to go through the word-to-word meaning of this, but probably we don't have that much of time. And there is a translation which is written by Prabhupada. We will see the translation. Let's understand what is this that Uddhav is praying. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. So this is Uddhav's prayer after having spent some time in Vrindavan. Asam, my hope, I am desiring, I am praying. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. I want the dust of the lotus feet of gopis. But if you see very carefully, there is no mention of the word gopis here. Oh great souls, actually the translation. We'll see the translation afterwards, and you can appreciate this even more when you read the translation. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. My goal, my aspiration, my hope, my asa is to get the dust of lotus feet of gopis. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. Why you want the dust of the lotus feet of gopis? Anyway, they are not going to give me if I ask. So what should I do? And what is the so special about the gopis? Yadustyajam swajanam aryapatham cha hitva. Yadustyajam swajanam. Actually, why people are not able to come to temple, or why they feel that, even though there is a desire, why they are not able to come? Because it is very difficult. Yadustyajam swajanam aryapatham cha hitva. Very difficult to overcome the family attraction. The attraction of our relatives, friends, the joy that we are getting in that is so much. It's very difficult to give it up. But this gopis, they have given it up just like that. Dustyajam swajanam, all their family members, children, husband, parents, whatever it is. Dustyajam swajanam, that too they are in female bodies. Given it up. Aryapatham, it is against the laws of morality. How can somebody go in the dead of the night? Aryapatham, they are not worried about that. Dustyajam swajanam aryapatham cha hitva. They've given up the morality, they've given up the scriptural injunctions, all those things they've given up because they're so attracted to Krishna. Dustyajam swajanam aryapatham cha hitva. I want dust of those devotees. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham syam. The dust of the lotus feet of the Lord, the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees of the Lord are extremely important for us to understand even what this spirituality is. You see, there are some people who come exactly at 8:20, right, or 8:15, just to maybe give lamps, or just to sing Damodar Ashtakam maybe, or give lamps and take prasadam and go. Those people can come before that. Why do they not able to come? Why are they not able to come? Why don't they feel that urge? Because it is a 30 days period. You see the same people coming at the same time for all 30 days. Because they don't have that blessing of pure devotee of the Lord to develop that attraction for Krishna. Bina mahatpada rajobhishekam. This is what Rahugana says to Jada Bharat. Bina mahatpada rajobhishekam. Without the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee of the Lord, if it is abhishekam, if it is not smeared on our head, no chance that we will get this. We will be able to overcome this attraction. Very distant. Dustyajam. It's not very easy. It's very, very difficult. Dustyajam swajanam aryapatham cha hitva. What is Prahlad Maharaj? He also prays Mahiyasham pada rajobhishekam. Mahiyasham pada rajobhishekam. The dust of the lotus feet of this pure devotee of the Lord. Ya dustyajam swajanam arya patham chahitva. Or Raghunath Das Goswami, he also prays in one place in Bhagavatam, in the conversation that comes where he's praying to Rupa Goswami that he wants the dust of the he wants the dust of Rupa Goswami. He says, Adadanas trinam danter idam yache puna punaha. Srimad Rupa Padam Bhoja Dhuli Shyam Janma Janmani. Adadanas trina danter idam yache puna punam. I'm putting this straw in my mouth because I'm an animal. My consciousness is not developed. I don't know what is really beneficial for me. So treat me like an animal. Adadanas trinam danter idam yache puna puna. Again and again, I'm asking for one thing. Srimad Rupa Padam Bhoja Dhuli Shyam Janma Janmani. I want the dust of the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. Same thing, this the disciple of Brihaspati, Uddhav, is asking, Asamaho Charana Renu Jusam Aham Shyam. So he's first asking that let me get the dust of, he's thinking actually to himself, how will I get it? Because gopis are not going to give. And so what should I do? So then he's praying, Vrindavane kimapi gulmalato sadhinam. There are three words which are used here. First he thought, let me become a tree here in Vrindavan. Because yesterday I was talking about the glories of becoming a tree in Vrindavan, how glorious it is. But he feels, if I become a tree, then the tree will grow. It will have flowers, it will have fruits, it will have some leaves. And probably the gopis will pluck them and use it for Krishna's service. But I still will not get their dust of the lotus feet. So he's telling, Vrindavane kimapi gulma lato sadhinam. Gulma is shrub. So he's thinking, let me become a shrub. But he's thinking, wait a minute. If I become a shrub, shrub also grows. The height of shrub is also too much. Let me become a lata. Lata is a creeper. It will take support of something. Let me become a creeper. It is lesser than a gulma, shrub which can grow on its own. But he's telling even lata is not the ideal thing because the gopis may not trample on it. Then he's telling, let me become ausadhi, a herb, a small herb like this darba, duva grass and all. They grow very small. They don't grow at all. So that the gopis will trample on me without hesitation, without consideration. Vrindavane kimapi gulma lato sadhinam. Yadustyajam swajanam arya patham chahitva. Vejur mukunda padavim shrutivir vimrikya. Actually, the more advanced one becomes, the more he develops humility. And this is what Uddhav is explaining in his verse. Let me not become, in the increasing order of humility, he is telling, not gulma. I can't aspire to get the dust of the lotus feet just like that from this gopis. So let me become a gulma. So gulma is also, he's saying, gulma is also shrub, it's big. They may not trample. Creeper also is, it's in decreasing height, but increasing humility. Gulma, lata and aushadhi. Let me become a small herb so that these gopis can trample on me. This humility is the key if we want to experience the Supreme Lord in our life. This is the key. And what better example than our Srila Prabhupada? So many times in his life he has demonstrated that. One example of this is when Prabhupada was in Sweden and he was talking to some of the devotees, some of the people who were there in the audience, who were extremely rowdy, who were not in a mood to listen. It happens many times, you have people who have no mood, they've just walked in and they've got some own agenda. There's no submission, nothing, and he was there. And unfortunately, the topic that Prabhupada was discussing was about different classes of devotees. So he was telling there is first class devotee, like the Brajavasis, the residents of Vrindavan, and amongst them Radharani, or amongst them the Gopikas, and then Radharani. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Taddhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachid Upasana Brajabadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita. He was talking about that, the first class devotee, then there are second class devotee, and then there are third class devotees, and there are fourth class devotees. So somebody in the audience stood up and said, so you think you are first class devotee sitting in that Vyasasana along with all of your disciples, you are holier than thou. So you are thinking we are all low class people and you are fourth class, you are first class devotee? You know what Prabhupada responded with tears in his eyes? He said, I am a fifth class devotee. I am here to serve all of you. That person completely got stunned. Not just once, multiple times. When Prabhupada had that inauguration of Mayapur temple, ISKCON Mayapur, so he had all his disciples with him. And there was a Vyasasana in which Prabhupada was sitting, and he was giving this lecture. Such a glorious moment. Prabhupada alone, coming from West Bengal with a thick Bengali accent, 70 years of age, coming here penniless, talking to some hippies, transforming them, bringing them along with him, having established Chandrodaya temple, that Mayapur Chandrodaya temple. And he's sitting on the Vyasasana and he's giving a lecture. At that time, Prabhupada says, actually, I don't deserve to lead you. All of you were actually planted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out of his causeless mercy, because he had this prediction, Prithivite Achejata Nagaradigram, Sarvatra Prachara Hoive Moronam. So he had planted you in all these places. You were already, it is Lord's plan. He had his mercy on you. You were waiting there to come and assist me. I am not supposed to lead you. Not just this one. Third time, somebody asked Prabhupada, I'm just giving some the innumerable times. Prabhupada was asked that, you are probably the best preacher because you went to the West and then, you started this movement all by yourself, and then it's a great roaring success. Actually, Prabhupada says, actually the best preacher, the better preacher than me, a much better preacher than me is my own Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Everybody was shocked. How is it that Bhakti Siddhanta is more better preacher? So this is the humility of Prabhupada, where he says, before coming to the West, before coming to the US, I was preaching in India and it was not a success. But look at my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He established 64 Gaudiya mutts in India, despite the fact that there was no such technological advancement. And he said, I could preach in the West because there was this discovery of aeroplane. Had aeroplane been there at the time of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would have preached in a different planet. I am nothing in front of him. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam vrindavane kimapi gulmalato sadhina. Yadustyajam swajanam arya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim shrutivir vimarikyam. Let's see the translation. The gopis of Vrindavan have given up the association of their husbands, sons and other family members who are very difficult to give up. You see in our own lives, how many engagements we have created, how many difficult things. We are not able to come. Even coming to temple is very difficult. Gopis of Vrindavan have given up the association of their husbands, sons and other family members who are very difficult to give up. And they have forsaken the path of chastity to take shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, Krishna, which one should search for by Vedic knowledge. Oh, let me be fortunate enough to be one of the bushes, creepers or herbs in Vrindavan, because the gopis trample them and bless them with the dust of their lotus feet. This is the aspiration of the disciple of Brihaspati, who is filled with transcendental knowledge but doesn't have the experience of devotion. When he goes and sees the state of the gopis, interacts with them, this is the prayer. He humbly bows down. This is beyond me. I can't understand. This should be our goal. We live life, days and days go by without having the Lord in our heart. We forget about him, completely oblivious. We don't even care that there is Lord with whom I'm supposed to establish my relationship. The prayer of, I'll go a little quickly. The prayer of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this famous Sikshastakam, you can repeat after me. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha prabrashaitam sunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Yugaitam nimeshena. One moment in separation of the Lord is appearing to me like one yuga. Yuga is huge, the duration. I can't live anymore without you, O Lord. Yugaisham nimeshena chakshusha prabrashaitam. Mind, there are torrents of tears which are coming out of my eyes because I'm just suffering. I don't have anyone with whom I can relate to. All this Maik people, Maya samsara, Maya sukha is temporary. Chakshusha prabrashaitam sunyaitam jagat sarvam. This world which is enamored, we are enamored by this world, the glitter, the glamour. He's telling sunyaitam, this is void. If you are not there, O Lord, what is this? This is zero, there is nothing. Sunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Kartik will come to an end. Tomorrow we will get busy with our lives. We may not come. But this feeling we should carry, the feeling of separation that Uddhav is experiencing, the aspiration to become the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. The fact that we are bereft of that real happiness because the Lord is not there in our heart. We are oblivious, we're forgetful of it. We don't even bother. At least we can try. At least we can try to chant, experience the Lord in our life, and not just stop just because Kartik has come to an end. If there are any lessons that we can learn from this beautiful prayer that Uddhav is praying in this, Asam Aho Charana Renu Jusam Aham Shyam. First thing that we should remember or realize, irrespective of what class, what birth, what family I am coming from, doesn't matter. If a devotee is more advanced, if a devotee is naturally, one feels to bow down, take the dust of his lotus. Naturally, even the children, when they want to pay their respects to their parents, they bow down and take the dust of the lotus feet of their parents. Similarly, Asam Aho Charana Renu Jasam Aham Syam. There are many devotees who are much more advanced than us. I should become humble in front of them, bow down and take their blessings. Asam Aho Charana Renu Jasam Aham Syam. Vrindavane Kimapi Gulmalato Sadhina. Maybe we don't have the good fortune to be there in Vrindavan. That's okay. Doesn't matter. The place where we are, the place where there are devotees, the place where we are getting nourished by Krishna Katha, that place is Vrindavan. We can carry that Vrindavan consciousness in our heart and can distribute it to everyone. That should be our goal. Vrindavane kimapi gulma lato sadhinam ya dustyajam sojanam arya patham cha hitva ya dustyajam. This is very difficult to give up these material attachments. Not easy. And we are stuck. As long as we are stuck and we are taking care of this karma bandha pass, then Krishna doesn't come to us. Moment we give it up and come to Krishna, then the yama fast is removed by Krishna. It's a very secret, this thing. Moment you give up all these things and you surrender to Krishna, he removes the yama fast. The moment you think you are independent, then you are putting into this karma bandha pass and continues for lifetime after lifetime. So yadustyajam sojanam arya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padabhim shrutibhir vimrikyam. One side, somebody has to tell us, ante narayana smriti, karo. Other side, you have devotees like gopis, Uddhav, who are feeling intense separation of the Lord. Intense, genuinely feeling. There is a prayer which is offered by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, or it's Bhakti Vinod Thakur, where he says that Kita janma ho yatha tuya das, bahir mukha brahma janma nahi moras. Kita janma ho yatha tuya das. Even if I'm taking birth as an insect in the house of a devotee, I will accept it as an insect. Bahir mukha brahma janma nahi moras. But if I become a Brahma living in the Satyaloka, I don't want with four head, lifespan almost equal to immortality. I don't want if it is bahir mukha. If I'm becoming a non-devotee, then I don't want to become even Brahma. This should be our aspiration. This should be our goal. This should be our inspiration. This should be our motivation. If we can inculcate a little in our life, let me do this. Let me enough. All these lifetimes I've lived, I'm doing, even in this life I've got so many these things. At least let me increase. Let me make my life a little more better by taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then our life will be a success. 8:05, so we have 5 more minutes. There are many these things which I wanted to say. Okay, this is a purport of Prabhupada, where Prabhupada is saying about this virtue of humility. A pure devotee always thinks himself more deficient than everyone else. If a devotee approaches Srimati Radharani to offer some service to Krishna, even Srimati Radharani thinks that the devotee is greater than she. She's the purest devotee. She is the topmost. This verse in Vishnu Purana actually talks about that. Trailokye prithivi dhanya yatra vrindavanam puri tatrapi gopikaha partha yatra radha bhidha mama. Trailokye prithivi dhanya. In Triloka, Prithivi is very dhanya, is great. But in Prithivi, yatra vrindavanam puri. Vrindavan is superior. And in that Vrindavana, tatrapi gopikaha partha. This is Krishna talking to Arjuna. Tatrapi gopikaha partha. In Vrindavan, gopikas are the greatest. Why? Because they are associates of Radharani. So Radharani is the topmost. But that Radharani is also feeling, if somebody comes for devotional service, how great she is. This mood of humility is what actually Tvam Akinchana Gocharam makes Krishna accessible, makes Krishna approachable. This is what we should learn on this last day of Kartik. Now, one final time we will have Damodara Ashtakam. where all of you get a chance to sing this wonderful Damodarashtakam. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki, Shri Shri Prahlad Narsimhadev ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So anyway, we will chant one first last time this year, Damodarashtakam, and you get a chance to offer ghee lamps. My request is participate in this, Damodarashtakam singing. It will be displayed over there. There are still 3 minutes. Let us chant one more time this prayer which Uddhav is praying and internalize as much as possible, and then we will chant Damodarashtakam. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. All of you together. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. Vrindavane kimapi gulmalato sadhinam. Yadustyajam swajanam arya patham cha hitva. Bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibhir vimrigyam. Asam aho charana renu jusam aham shyam. Vrindavane kimapi gulmalato sadhinam. Yadustyajam swajanam arya patham cha hitva. Bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibhir vimrigyam. Kartik Month Maha Mahotsav ki, Srila Prabhupada